This song is so good that you could put this on any previous ABBA album. Where the harmonies come in with the vocals is huge like that, and on top of that, like really major sounding second part of the chorus, that's like super classic ABBA technique. Yeah, so for me, this is one of my favorites on the album.
I'll ask you something right now, and this is out of the blue.
What's that?
What do you think your favorite ABBA song so far is, if you could pick one?
Oh, boy, you put me on the spot here. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Music and Words Unite. I am your co-host, Troy, and with me and my friend and co-host, Mark. How you doing, Mark?
What is up, ABBA fans? Welcome to the last one.
And newbies. Who knows? Maybe you've never even heard ABBA before. I doubt it, but you never know. Okay, and yes, welcome. Today, we are doing a track-by-track album review of this album right here, Voyage. Look, I have the CD, Mark. Look at that. This is actually my daughter's CD. And I also have this right here. This is a special, I don't know if you can see it, but special cover here. It's different than the other one. But anyway, so I have both. And yeah, Mark, this is the last ABBA album we are reviewing. This concludes all of our regular album reviews. So will we like it? That's the question. Last May, let's recap how we got here. Last May, almost a year ago, 11 months ago, Mark, we listened to our first ABBA album, which was The Visitors. Since then, we've gone and listened to everyone except Voyage. But also, Mark, I've listened to the non-album songs, like Fernando, for example, but we haven't done an episode on them. So I think that'll probably be the next episode, I'm guessing, is the non-album songs, right? There's a lot of great ones. Gimme, Gimme, Gimme.
Yeah. Now you're talking
right.
there.
Love Lights, right? There's a bunch of them, right? So that'll be a fun episode to do a track-by-track review of that, I guess. But for now, though, this is the last official album we're doing. You know, Mark, I had never heard this album before. I intentionally didn't listen to it. You know, I wanted to do it fresh for this. It was hard to do, to avoid. I had not heard out of all the ABBA I've been listening to in the last year, as most people know by now, my wife and daughter are super into ABBA as well. I've intentionally avoided every song of this album until this past couple of weeks where I started listening to it. What about you, Mark? Have you ever heard this before?
No, I have not, and I also kind of purposely tried not to hear anything because, I mean, there's people in the Discord that are constantly talking and stuff about it, and I wanted to just go in with super fresh ears, so.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, we did. We went and listened to it. We took notes, and we're ready to go. If you're new here, welcome. What we do is deep dives into albums that we want to listen to. And this is one of them. You know, as ABBA newbies, starting 11 months ago, I would say we're probably not ABBA newbies anymore. In fact, we probably know quite a bit about ABBA from listening to all those albums, plus all of the ABBA fans in the Discord channel. I feel like I know a lot about them. I've even seen an ABBA cover band live, a tribute band. So yeah, we're ready to go. Cool. Before we get to the first track, Mark, how about we talk about 40 years, right? I think it was 40 years between albums.
40 years on the nose.
Look at that. Amazing, right? Amazing. After 40 years, you come back and you make a new album. And I think they actually ended up turning down like a $1 billion deal to do a tour. Like, think about that, turning down $1 billion. That's some crazy number to turn down. But hey, they probably already have so much money that's like,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, okay,
where they're at.
We're 70. I mean, great. You're gonna give us $1 billion. We have enough money already. You know, it's probably where they're at, dude. So give it to somebody else. You know, who might need it. So that is that's the backdrop for this. Obviously, there is one song on this album, Mark, which we'll cover, that actually uses the original vocals or vocals from the Voulez-Vous sessions, which is just an Ocean. So all the other vocals are new vocals. All right. So let's get right into it. This is the opening track, I Still Have Faith in You. And you being Mr. Ballad, Mark, I was wondering, what's Mark going to think about this one? So why don't we listen to a clip from I Still Have Faith in You. Here we go.
For I know I hear a bittersweet song in the memories we share. I still have faith in you, and I will say I never really thought I'd feel this inconceivable it is to reach this far. Do I have it in me? I believe it is in there. For I know I hear a bittersweet song in the memories we share. We do have it in us. The spirit has arrived. The joy and the sorrow. We have a story and it's alive. And we need one another like fighters in the ring. We're in this together. Passion and courage is everything. I still have faith in you. It stands above the crazy things we did. It all comes down.
So that was a clip from I Still Have Faith in You by Abba after 40 years, the opening track to the last Abba album, from what I understand. All right, Mark, last time we did an album review, you got all the ballads first. So why don't we switch it up? Because I think this one's a ballad, track 3 is a ballad, so I'll go first if you want. All right? Unless you really want to do all the ballads first. I'll let you pick. How about
I'm
that?
Mr. Ballad, dude. What are you talking about?
So
No,
would you,
go ahead.
okay. All right. All right. So ABBA fans and ABBA newbies, maybe. I think the reason why some people watch our channel is because, I do believe we're honest. So I'm going to be 100% honest when I listen to this because I've heard every ABBA album. I'm a huge ABBA fan at this point. This is a beautiful song. Let's just start there. A beautiful song in multiple ways. The lyrics are obviously beautiful. It seems like this song is talking about, it's a bit autobiographical, right? About maybe have faith in each other, that you can do it again, right? Even after all these years. And maybe the fans are speaking to the band in a sense of, I still have faith in you that you can do it, and together we can kind of achieve this great task of creating a new album, after 40 years. To me, that's what the song seems like it's talking about. There's a really nice lyrics. One of my favorite band members, of course, everyone knows that I love everyone in the band, right? So there's no real favorites, but I have been on record and said Bjorn might be my favorite band member. I have said that. And that's because I'm a big fan of lyrics. And we do have it in us. New spirit has arrived. The joy and the sorrow, we have a story and it survived, right? And the joy and the sorrow, right? That there's nothing more accurate, I would say, than that line when it comes to ABBA, right? From what we learned, Mark, about ABBA. A lot of joy and a lot of sorrow. A lot of two divorces, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Families kind of separated. They have kids, and then breaking up one of the greatest pop acts of all time, after only a 10-year run. And I would imagine there's a lot of joy and sorrow, and then it comes back with this, So overall, I would say it's a beautiful ballad. I do get it. I wouldn't say it's a song that I come back to a lot re-listening to the album, though, for me personally. I much prefer re-listening to a lot of the other songs on the album, but I do think it is a beautiful song. I mean, the melody is beautiful. That I Still Have Faith in You, the way she's singing that, incredible melody. I mean, Benny is just a top-tier, top 1% in the music industry, like melody writer, I would say. And probably Bjorn too, but I think Benny might be one of the main drivers of a lot of the melodies and the chord progressions and stuff. So, in fact, Mark, I read that Bjorn didn't even play guitar on this album. That it's really a Benny album when it comes to the music, and Bjorn mainly did the lyrics. I don't know if that's true, ABBA fans. That's what I was reading. In fact, one of my things that I think holds this album back from being greater than it even could be is that fact, actually. So yeah, it doesn't have Michael B. Trito to help with the engineering and the production like all the other albums did, and to me, it does stand out. And in the way that the drums sound, in particular, in the way there's it's missing folks like Rucker Gunnison on it. It's missing Mike Watson on it, and you can tell it's all synth bass driven, which I don't mind the synth bass, the synth pop stuff. It's fine, but I do think in the production side, it's missing a little bit of the ABBA magic in that side. As far as the songwriting goes, it's a beautiful song, and the performances by the ladies. It is interesting hearing their voices after 40 years. Obviously, they sound different, but they still sound good, though. They're still hitting all the notes. They harmonize really well together. When you get them together, it's always magic. So, Mark, what did you think of this song?
I thought it was horrible. I hated every second of it. It sucks. No. Okay. So starting off the album with a ballad. Okay, good start. Good start for me, obviously.
Yeah. Right.
Nah. Listen.
Yeah.
We got my girl Frida on vocals here. If you've watched this channel before, I'm a Frida guy.
He is a Frida fan.
Nothing against Agneta or anybody else. I love Frida. I love her voice. I love the way she sings. This song is very solid. I think it's a very solid song. I think I'm in the same boat as you. I think it's not one I really revisited as much as some of the other ones on here. I think given the circumstances, they still sound great on here. Especially on this song. I mean, the both of them on this song sound great.
They do, yeah.
But I am more of a upbeat, dancey ABBA guy. I'm a gimme, gimme, gimme kind of guy. But I still love a lot of their other big ballads. I love The Winner Takes It All. I mean, that's why I think that's one of ABBA's absolute best songs. And I'm Mr. Ballad, so that's. But I'm in the same boat as you, Troy. I do like this song, and I think it's a good opener. But it's just not one that I revisited as much as the other tracks on here. So,
okay.
I think it's good though. I think every song on here is good, especially given the circumstances. They're all in their mid-70s. So
yeah, totally agree. And by the way, I think yesterday was Agneta's birthday. Today we're recording this on Sunday night, so I think it was on Saturday. The 4th, April 4th.
She's the youngin' too.
Yeah, she is. She's 76, I think. So yeah. Happy birthday, Agneta, by the way. We actually did an episode for Frida's birthday last year. Maybe you missed that one. We did a full track-by-track album review of her first solo album, so go check that one out. An album we really liked, actually. So yeah, produced by Phil Collins, by the way. So, yeah. All right, so overall, Mark, a nice opener, a nice ballad, beautiful melody, beautiful singing by the ladies. I love the strings. They have a real Swedish orchestra, apparently, performing the strings on this album. You can tell. One of the things that stood out to me on this album, more so than even the previous albums, is the classical and also film score experience that Benny probably got over the years. A lot of the songs sound theatrical in comparison to some of their older ABBA music. They've always had a bit of theatrical, like I'm a Marionette, for example, right? And Money, Money, Money and stuff like that. But this one is like a lot of the music on there, it could even be in a film, for example, or a play or something. So Benny is really, you can tell, has evolved over the years and really honed some of that craft. So, all right. The next track is When You Dance With Me.
I can remember when you left Kilkenny and you told me
So that was a clip from When You Dance With Me. Mark, you're up first on this one. What'd you think of this song?
Yeah, so not gonna lie, the first time I heard this, I thought it was kind of sounded like an Irish jig a little bit.
It does a little bit, yeah.
It doesn't it? Yeah.
It's because it's actually set in Kilkenny, Ireland in the story, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The first lyric is like, what was it? Like, I met you in Kilkenny or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I said that to myself. I was like, this sounds like an Irish jig, and then I looked at the lyrics and I was like, oh, okay, it's supposed to sound like an Irish jig. So,
right.
yeah, I like this song. As someone who enjoys like actual like Celtic music and is an Enya enjoyer, so that was pretty cool. I was taken aback. I really like the songs on here when they co-lead sing. I think the depth of their voices, even at like an older age, is always so good. So this is like one of the particular tracks where I think it sounds really good. These first couple tracks, I was a little disappointed because I was kind of expecting the usual ABBA, like, upbeat song and really soul-crushing lyrics. But first couple of tracks, I was a little let down. These are very like upbeat lyrically. So maybe Bjorn was having an off day or something.
Right.
But, yeah, I think this is a fine song. Like if you want to consider this like a B-side, I guess. But yeah, like very, Irish sounding, very upbeat. Vocals are great. The melodies are always on top notch, even for, their age. Yeah, I mean, I was like pretty surprised at how good these tracks sounded because, I mean, I don't know if anybody's heard Bob Dylan lately. It's not sounding too good. Yeah. but ABBA's sorry, Bob, if you're watching, but ABBA are kind of like freaks of nature, so I'm like not really surprised. But yeah, this is a good track. Not really. I don't think it's one of my favorites, but it's one that gets me pumped for like Irish Spring.
All right.
Reminds me of an Irish Spring commercial.
It depends on how you quantify happy lyrics. Actually, it depends on how you think about it, I guess. But my review of this song is, I loved it first time I heard it. I love the Irish feel to it. The melody is so beautiful. Like when as it's building into the chorus. And the way that the ladies are singing that, and it's such beautiful harmony. But when the synths come in after the chorus, right? That kind of post-chorus musical vibe. I mean, man, I could listen to that all day. The synths and the harmonies of that are so amazing, and the strings going on. And it's the one thing, no matter what, I would say, that ABBA hasn't lost and will never lose as long as they're alive. Fingers crossed, as long as humanly possible, is the ability to write a melody. So it's all throughout this album. I mean, it's quite amazing. A melody and a harmony, and that could be the musical melody, the vocal melodies, the harmonies. I mean, they're just. I've said that in the last song. It's again present on this one. Amazing.
I mean, you look up melody in the old dictionary, and you're gonna see Bjorn's face right there.
Yeah, Bjorn, Benny,
staring back at you.
Yeah, and ABBA, and then
all of them really.
Frida. And Agneta. The melody makers and masters. And no surprise in this one, I really like the music in this one. I love that chorus, the pre-chorus, the chorus. Something about the... this song has the happy side to me. Maybe that was me. Something about the melody and the harmony seems a little somber, even though it's happy. That's what it struck to me. Like this song, when I hear it, it doesn't make me necessarily happy. It makes me...
No, I don't think so either, but I think it's still upbeat, though.
That's true. And when I read the lyrics, it's not overtly sad, right? But it's definitely about two people who split a long time ago. And it seems like they're reconvening maybe at a concert or something like that. And this person is wondering, are you here for the music or are you here to dance with me again? Because maybe they used to dance together. Maybe they were a couple. And a lot of these things, because Bjorn writes the lyrics, you almost question, like, is he pulling this from his personal self or is he pulling it from thin air where he's just making it up, right? And it's impossible to know that with a lot of these songs. I think some of the older songs that were written in the moment when he was struggling with a divorce or a breakup. I mean, that has to be closer to probably what he was feeling. You know what I mean? But now, who knows? You know what I mean? He could just be pulling it. But it almost gets you to think, you know, did he ever think about two people who were married a long time ago, back in the 70s and early 80s, right? Do you ever think about that person over the last 40 years? Did he ever think about Agneta and wish, you know, I think he was married. He's probably married again. And so I'm assuming not, you know, but it's got to be weird to get back in a band with your ex after 40 years and you both have had all their lives that you've lived, you know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's all great. I don't know. I was just thinking about, from his perspective, like writing these songs about people that have broken up and you're wondering, are you want to dance with me again? You know, that kind of thing. It's an interesting thing. Anyway, let's move on. The next one is Little Things. You know what? I'm going to kind of play a little bit from the middle of this one. Beautiful melody again.
I love the twinkliness.
Yes.
Little things like your naughty eyes, you'd consider bringing me a breakfast tray, but there's a price. Little things like that happy noise as a brand new day is dawning on this lovely Christmas morning. It's our children playing with their new toys. Little moments of happiness and of bliss. Does it ever get better than this? Oh, what joy Santa brings. Thanks, old friend, for packing Christmas stockings full of nice little things. Thank you, dear old friend, for packing Christmas stockings full of nice little things.
Little things like the precious shoes on rings, or a music box that will fit in socks, tiny elves with wings. Not as big as queens and their kings. If you sing along, it could be a song that my grandma sings.
All right. So that was a clip from the last half or so of Little Things. Got to be honest with you, Mark, I was a bit shocked that this was the third song on the album. Not so much of the song itself, but the placement of the song was a little bit shocking, actually. Normally when you listen to an album, like, that third song is usually like one of the strongest songs on the album as far as tempo, as far as, like, you know, being kind of what we call a banger, you know what I mean, of a song, typically. And this is clearly the most, like, super sentimental ballad, even more so than the other ones. I mean, because you have literally children singing on it and everything else. And so that's the first thing that stuck out to me, was just simply the placement of the song. But enough about that. The song itself, it's hard to even review this song. I mean, I'll say the things that stuck out to me. The melody is, of course, beautiful. I mean, again, Benny wrote the melody to this, and I was reading that, and it's quite amazing. They do have the New Year's Eve song, Happy New Year. I love that song. Fantastic song, okay? Mm-hmm. So now they're making a Christmas song. Now, that New Year's Eve song is kind of dark, actually. If you remember that song, the lyrics are not happy to that song.
I don't believe that.
I love that song, though. That's from, you know, it remains to be seen what my favorite Abba album is going to be after listening to all these. We're going to do an album review, a kind of ranking episode for fun coming up, I think. So I'll rethink about that. But one of my favorite albums is Super Trooper. Previously was, the last time we did an album ranking, was my favorite. But that time I had only listened to 4. But anyway, that album is just front to back like a 10 out of 10. The point is though, Happy New Year, freaking love that song. This song though is beautiful melody. Lyrics are beautiful, but also cheeky and interesting. You know why? Because I was looking up the lyrics like, you know, earlier today to kind of remind myself because I hadn't read the lyrics to this one in a while. And because I started listening to this about 2 weeks ago, off and on. And then the last week I've listened to this album about 5 or 6 times, like fully. And so like, like the second, so it starts off little things like my gentle touch. It's amazing, darling, that so little can achieve so much. So it's talking about a couple, not kids at the beginning, right? It's talking about like a couple, married couple or non-married couple. Little things like your sleepy smile as a brand new day is dawning. It's a lovely Christmas morning. So why don't we stay in bed for a while? So it's like a couple talking about enjoying the moment, you know, living in the moment, enjoying it. So it kind of, when you hear it, it sounds like it's purely talking about a children's song, but it's not actually. It's really a song about a couple. And going through the experience of what it's like having kids on Christmas. A beautiful thought, right? A beautiful thought. Also somewhat sad, depending on the perspective. Because if you're in your 70s, you probably don't have 5-year-old, 6-year-old kids. Maybe you do, but it's not likely that you have that age of kids, right? To reminisce about that. So it's either you're talking about grandchildren or great-grandchildren at that time, or you're reflecting on the past, you know, and being nostalgic about it, which can be beautiful, but also sad. So it kind of made me a little bit conflicted emotionally listening to this song. I was also listening to it one time laying next to my daughter who was going to bed. I put her to bed most nights. And she was kind of sleeping or almost asleep. And I was listening to this with some headphones while she was sleeping, just kind of laying there and letting her sleep. And I was like, man, it is a little bit sad to think about like the precious moments that you have with a kid, especially at Christmas time, you know, and you only get so many of them in the kid's lifetime while they're young. There's only a handful of them really to enjoy. So it's a beautifully written song. Maybe it makes me sad. Maybe it's supposed to make me happy. I don't know. I think the song makes me sad. Like I'm getting emotional thinking about it. The song does make me sad. I'm going to be honest with you, but it's a beautifully written song. It's not a song though that I probably would come back to and listen to on repeat, honestly. And that's not because the song is bad. I just typically don't listen to Christmas music, to be honest. So it's not my thing. Not even Mariah Carey. I try to avoid most Christmas music as much as possible.
What? Mariah Carey? Oh my God! You try to avoid that at all costs.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. It's like it's just my wife probably loves this song. I mean, so I got to get her to listen to this more. Anyway, Mark, what'd you think about this song?
I think this is probably the most straightforward song lyrically on the album. I don't think there's anything. I think it's just a Christmas song. Just like what I get from the lyrics is just, you know, talking about, like you said, like their children, and then just, you know, maybe there's some little stuff in there, but I think it's pretty straightforward. And
well, Mark, before you continue that, the second verse says, little things like your naughty eyes. You'd consider bringing me a breakfast tray, but there's a price. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what that means, but it is a little ambiguous.
I mean, maybe they want to get down before Christmas morning. I don't know.
So, I think so. But anyway, go ahead.
You know, like let them. You know, you got to keep the marriage fresh. You know, you can't.
That's true. I mean, I'm not. You know, I'm married, and you know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like a straightforward kids' Christmas song. That's what I'm saying.
It's not.
Yeah. That's what I'm.
But it's called Little Things, like the little things that make you happy. Like,
sure.
You know,
sure. Yeah.
Kids opening stuff on Christmas. You know. You saw your significant other bringing you a breakfast tray, banging before Christmas morning. You know, it's just a little thing.
Yeah, it's the little things.
Yeah, I don't particularly care too much about this song. I mean, I like some Christmas songs, but generally speaking, I like the Christmas season because, you know, it brings family together and whatnot, but I don't care about Christmas music except like Trans-Siberian Orchestra for the music, but
right.
Yeah, I don't. This song is fine for what it is. But
Right.
like you said, I don't think I would revisit it. Like you're gonna put this up against Eagle, or you're gonna put it up against like like any of their other like old great songs. I don't know. That's just the way I look at it. But again, this is 40 years later. They're in their 70s, whatever. I think it's okay. I didn't, I wasn't blown away by it. I was kind of like a little weirded out that they put a Christmas song on that, like the regular album, But
And number
I guess
3, that was the thing that caught me
yeah,
off guard. Yeah.
I agree. Like, but like that's what they went with, and I respect their decision. But
Their choice, yeah.
yeah, I don't really care too much about it. It's not that I don't like it, but like I think like, oh, am I gonna listen to this, or am I gonna listen to like Lay All Your Love on Me? I don't know, but
Right.
but yeah, it's
Right.
fine.
All right.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, we shall. The next song is "Don't Shut Me Down."
A while ago I heard the sound of children's laughter. Now it's quiet, so I guess they left the park. This wooden bench is getting harder by the hour. The sun is going down, it's getting dark. I realize I'm cold, the rain begins to pour as I watch the windows on the second floor. The lights are on, it's time to go. It's time at last to let him know.
Now we're talking.
I believe it would be fair to say you look bewildered, and you wonder why I'm here today. And so you should, I would. When I left, I felt I'd had enough, but in the shape and form I appear now. I have learned to cope, and love and hope is why I am here now. And now you see another me, I've been reloaded, yeah. I'm fired up, don't shut me down. I'm like a dream within a dream that's been decoded. I'm fired up, I'm hot, don't shut me down. I'm not the one you knew, I'm now and then combined, and I'm asking you to have an open mind. I won't be the same. I'm not the same this time around. I'm fired up, don't shut me down. Leave me standing in the hall.
That was about half of
Let me enter.
"Don't Shut Me Down" by Abba. All right, Mark. It's you this time, sir.
So yeah, this is what I've been waiting for, first couple tracks. This sounds like a song that could have been released in like the 70s or even the early 80s. This is like a return to form of like traditional ABBA to me, which I obviously really like. I think it's great. I love Agnetta's vocals on this song. Usually I'm a Frida guy, but I think she's great here. The lyrics are, kind of like funny, but like kind of like, I mean, I think it could kind of go either way. Like obviously, like she's fired up about like a relationship. I know Bjorn wrote the vocals too, or the lyrics. So I'll let you're the lyric guy. I'll let you dive into it more. Musically though, like that pre-chorus when it has like the chimes and stuff. Oh man, that's great. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's like classic ABBA. Yeah, this song has a really good groove. It has a really good like flow to it, I think, as well. The synths are great. The I don't know who plays bass on.
I think
On
this
this
is
album.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think this is synth bass, man.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I think it's Benny. I think this is a lot
Yeah,
of the
I think
Benny
so.
show on the music. Yeah.
I think you're right. But I think this song is excellent. I think this is like a classic, like I said already, like a return to like true ABBA form. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So like I think so far this is probably my favorite so far that we've listened to. Actually, it's definitely my favorite that we listened to so far. Um, it has a real vintage sound to it, which I really like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, great one. What do you think, Troy?
Oh, definitely my favorite so far on the album.
Yeah.
This song is, in my opinion, this song is so good that you could put this on any previous ABBA album.
I totally agree. I think it sounds
Yeah.
like it could be on any ABBA album.
Right. Like if you change the production to match the production style of whatever ABBA album that was, you know what I mean? It would fit right in, no matter which album it is.
For
you know?
sure.
The song is quite incredible, actually. Like when you hear it, it gives you, like that pre-chorus comes on, it gives me like goosebumps, you know, like how beautiful
Absolutely.
the melody is. It's incredible. The string arrangements, the synth arrangements, the vocal melody, and yet this performance, them singing together, you know what I mean? Harmonizing, and it's got it all. It's got, I mean, I'm not going to say this is Dancing Queen by any means, but I'm saying it's got that feel to it. You know what I mean? It's got the epicness of the disco epic feel with the bounce and the beautiful string melodies, the beautiful vocal melodies, the harmony. It's got it all, you know?
Troy, I'm going to ask you something right now, and this is out of the blue.
What's that?
What do you think your favorite ABBA song so far is, if you could pick one?
Oh, boy, you put me on the spot here.
Because I have a good response for mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
This song has grown on me so much since we first heard it.
I don't have one. I would have to think about it. Let me think about it on the album review
okay.
episode. Okay. What's yours?
This isn't necessarily my favorite, but it's 100% in the top 5.
Of all time?
SOS.
Oh, I thought you meant this one. SOS. Oh, SOS. Yeah. I mean, SOS is, for me, a top 10 song, at least, if it's not top 5. Yeah.
I literally get it stuck in my head, like, very frequently.
And there's a callback to SOS on this album, too, actually. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get
That's
there.
kind of why I brought it up, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say, man. I mean, there's so many good songs. Let me think about that one. I have to think about it.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. So overall, this song is killer. I've already said that. I want to talk about the lyrics now. This is a Bjorn special because in the sense of this song has a lot of depth to it because it has a dual meaning. So he really outdid himself, I think, on this one. On the surface, it seems to be about a woman who returns to a former partner and is talking about her transformation. You know what I mean? Like, look, you know what I mean? Things were they were the way they were back then. I'm a different person now. You know what I mean? So you got to hear me out. You got to don't shut me down. I'm fired up. It's going to be a new relationship, you know. So this kind of new lease on life, and there's something beautiful about that. Actually, I just wanted to give a thought about that. You know, people can change. I know it's tough to change. It is tough to change, right? But I'm a very different person now than I was when I was in my 20s. I can tell you that.
Oh, sure.
And I think, so, I mean, obviously, you know, I'm happily married now, but I'm saying like my relationships that I had in my teens or early 20s, for example, those people that I've been with, if I talk to them now, they'd be like, wow, you're quite different, you know? and I can imagine like this song could be talking about that, you know what I mean? Someone like who had a previous relationship is saying, okay, I'm back, but, and I'm a new woman, you know what I mean? I'm a new lease on life here. But also, at the same time, I think it's actually a metaphor for the band itself and the kind of Voyage, the hologram show. You know what I mean? Because they talk about taking different forms, I think, in this song. And please take us as we are now, not only as a hologram, but as artists in their 70s. You know what I mean? Like, let us be here. Let us be who we are. You know what I mean? Let us arrive here. No pun intended. And you know, we've arrived again. You know what I mean? But this time in our 70s, and don't shut us down because we're coming back with holograms. We're coming back with a new album, you know? We're coming back with it all, and I think it's almost like talking to the fans, in a way. And so it's kind of a really cool dual meaning, and apparently, yeah. So this is Agneta's first lead vocal in the album, I'm pretty sure, right? Out of the songs we've heard so far, and you can tell like her voice is just different. They both have very unique voices, and something about Agneta's voice that's unique to her is she just has this ability to sound sad when she sings. And I don't know how do I put it, but it's like you hear it in SOS, you hear it in The Winner Takes It All, you hear it at the beginning of this song, you know what I mean? Just emotion just like pours through her vocal. More so than most singers I've ever heard, not just Frida, and Frida has a totally different tonal quality to her voice and a strength in her voice that's different than Agneta. And so when they both are at their best and putting their skills together, there's nothing quite like it, obviously. But overall, Mark, this is my so far my favorite song on the record. All right, and
Same.
a fantastic song. You could again put it on any previous ABBA record, and it would fit right in. It would be a great song on those records too. Actually, that's how good the song is, I would say. So, all right. Apparently, this was ABBA's last, the number one hit since Summer Night City in Sweden. So this reached number one in Sweden, and it was the last song to do that since Summer Night City, which is quite interesting because that means that nothing from Super Trooper was number one in Sweden. Wow, interesting. Or the Visitors. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, really. What the hell?
Yeah, and it was nominated for Record of the Year, this song, and Best Pop Duo Group Performance at the 65th Grammys, this song. So look at that. It was recognized. Thank you, Grammys, for doing that. All right, the next track is Just a Notion. This is, I think I go first on this one. This is one of the highlights of the album to me, actually. This one and the previous song. This is a great song. In fact, I kind of got not yelled at, but I was blasting this song in the car today with my wife and my daughter in the car. My wife's like, I'm trying to talk to our daughter. Can you turn it down? So I got turn it down to this song, by the way. So I was blasting this song today. That's how much I like it. But my wife was right. She was trying to talk. So anyway, so I do like this song a lot. And it is I believe the original vocals from the Voulez-Vous sessions. And you can tell, I mean, it definitely sounds different than the other songs. But it sounds oh so familiar when you hear it right away. You're like, okay, that's the ABBA sound. It's like right there, you know. And then on top of that, I mean, just amazing, beautiful melody, the piano, the strings. I mean, that's the theme through the whole album that makes the album, one of the things that makes this album really good is the strings and the melody and the pianos and the chords and the vocal melodies and the harmonies. I've been beating a dead horse about that. I might as well just say it for every song. So yeah, and lyrically, I don't think it's like as deep as a lot of the other songs. I think it's definitely just about like kind of having a romantic optimism, or so to say, about someone. But yeah, I was curious why this doesn't, because it definitely sounds like that it could have been on a previous ABBA album, right? And in particular, it sounds like I read that this was recorded in the Voyage sessions.
Yeah.
But it actually reminds me of something that would have been on like the previous albums, like on Arrival, for example, or
like Waterloo.
Yeah, or the self-titled album, right? One of those, because it has like a so long type of vibe to it, or some, it has that kind of fun. Most ABBA music is fun. I'm maybe not describing that right. I don't know. It just has the sound from that era of ABBA, I would say, although it was recorded in the Voyage era. But the song reminds me of those albums per se, and I really enjoy this song. I think it's very good. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too, and I think part of it has to do because the fact that the vocals are from the Voyage session, so it's like prime time ABBA vocals, with the instrument added to it. It's a fun little tune though, very upbeat, nice, nice light, kind of lighthearted vocal or lyrics, and doesn't take itself too seriously. It's not a Bjorn special, but I think it's very upbeat and very easy to listen to, and very playful is another word I would use. Yeah, you know why I think this reminds me and you of like the earlier albums is because a lot of those songs they were trying to find like their sound, like dare I say King Kong song,
You can
with
dare
those
if you
kind of
want,
songs.
yeah.
I don't particularly ever want to bring that song up, but
All right. Yeah.
but that's why I think it reminds us of that, because it's like kind of like like they're trying to find their sound, so they're doing all different kinds of genres and they're messing around with all different types of styles and stuff. And that's what this song reminds me of. So I think that's a big reason why I like it too. It's just because it's like it reminds me of old ABBA, and we're nostalgic for ABBA even though we've only been listening to them for like a year, but
that's funny how that happens, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of our ABBA patrons have been listening to basically their entire life. So
Right. Sure.
So guys, if I was born back then, I'd probably listen to ABBA at least a little bit. But I was born in the late '80s, so there's not really much I can do about that. But yeah, I think this song is also very good. I don't think it's as good as "Don't Shut Me Down," but I think it's still pretty good. Pretty good.
And that's saying something, because this is a song that was written in that era, and "Don't Shut Me Down" I think is even better.
Yeah, "Don't Shut Me Down's it's up there.
Yeah, so shout out to ABBA for that one. All right, the next song is "I Can Be That Woman." All right, and oh, look, you're gonna get a ballad this time to go first. How about that, Mark? All right, so
let's just do a slow clap. All
right. And by the way, if you're still watching, we are making some. I don't even know if you know this, Mark. We're making some T-shirts. So if you want to support the channel and want a T-shirt, I'm hoping to have the link for it in this video below. All right, and there's gonna be 2 shirts that I'm trying to make here. And if it doesn't happen, I'll edit this part out. But the 2 shirts are, one is Mr. Ballad. So you're going to get a Mr. Ballad shirt if you want that, if you want to represent Mark. And it'll say Music and Words Unite, YouTube, whatever. The other one is ABBA is for everyone. And you're going to get that one, right? Because you know what? I think that's the theme of us in this channel, is that every ABBA really is for everyone. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter what kind of music you like. You got to like ABBA, right? So yeah.
Are you going to put my face on the shirt?
I wasn't planning on it, Mark, but if you really want me to. Okay.
No, definitely not.
So we have ABBA's for everyone and Mr. Ballad. I don't know. Hopefully the links will be below by the time this video comes out. All right. So those are the 2 ABBA related shirts that basically we're going to have. Okay, I am going to play a clip now from I Can Be That Woman. I think I might skip a little bit so you can hear some of the chorus and all that. So here we go.
Before me, then you curse and kick a chair, and the dog, bless her heart, licks my fingers, but she jerks every time you swear. I feel sick and my hands are shaking. This is how all our fights have begun. You say you've had it, and you say screw you. I say I love you, and I know it's true. You're not the man you should have been. I let you down somehow. Not the one I could have been. I'm not the woman I could have been. I can be that woman, but I can be that woman now. You're confused when you turn to face me. Is it true?
All right, so that was a clip from, oh yeah, drinking here. I Can Be That Woman. That's a clip from that one. Mark, you're up first. Your first ballad that you get first, buddy. What do you think?
So,
Yeah.
I actually really like this song a lot.
Okay, all right. Okay.
It's one of the ones. It's definitely the saddest song on the album. That's for sure.
Okay.
This
all
is
right.
the reverse Bjorn special. Actually, not even the half reverse Bjorn special. It's a song that sounds sad and is sad. The lyrics obviously are talking about a woman who, has either left the relationship or they've split up and she came back and she's trying to either save it or, have some kind of redemption. I mean, she even like names the dog by name. Isn't the dog's name Tammy, if I remember
Right.
correctly?
Yeah, yeah.
Not looking at the lyrics here. So this sounded a lot of like really familiar, and I remember there was a song on, I think it's The Visitors, called, what is it, One of Us?
Yeah, One of Us, yep.
Yeah, which is also the kind of the same thing about like trying to save a relationship. And I remember really liking that song too. So I don't know if that's like
yeah.
part of it. Yeah.
I love that song. That's a great one.
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean that album's just phenomenal. But
Yeah.
this song is very melancholic. There's a lot of regret in her voice, which I really like. This is an Anietta ballad I can definitely get behind because I love like she sounds like so vulnerable singing, and I really like that a lot. It really brings a lot of like emotion to the singing, because like, I don't know, I don't consider myself a super emotional guy, but when like I do get emotional, it's like really palpable. And I did get, a little emotional listening to this song because you can like really hear it in her voice when she sings. And I like how the song kind of has like an almost like country like sound to it, kind of like
It does,
twangy guitars, or twangy like music. But yeah, this was a real grower and a kind of shocker for me because I listened to it and I was like, okay, typical Abba ballad. But after a few listens, I was just like, this is really really good. I really like this song, and like I said, like her emotions singing and the lyrical content, and the song's in 6/8 too, which I'm sure you're going to talk about because that's your favorite.
I do like 6/8,
yeah,
Yeah.
which makes it like the country sound.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to say other than I really do like this song. It's one of the better ballads that I can remember listening to in the past couple albums. So I really props to Agneta, in her 70s making some baller ass ballads. So
Yeah.
yeah, I did really like this song a lot. What did you think, Troy?
It's one of the strongest ballads for me on the album. A beautiful performance by Agneta. Of course, the melody's great. Of course, it is a country style, right? Which they don't have a lot of those, but it's a good one. I do want to mention the lyrics, though. I think my reviews could be more about the lyrics than anything.
Yeah, it's a very lyric heavy song.
This is like a WTF moment because it's written by Bjorn. Anytime Bjorn is writing lyrics about like a breakup and Yetta singing it, it's always like this, you know what I mean? Because we know what happened and everything. It's always very interesting. Is he thinking about Agneta or not? Is it autobiographical? So I kind of looked it up. I tried to get some clues, maybe from if Bjorn spoke about this at all. And apparently he did speak about this song, about the lyrics. So yeah, the dog named Tammy is actually a homage to Tammy Wynette. So apparently, according to Bjorn. Yeah.
Okay.
And he says it's basically about someone who has come down from an addiction and finally come into real life and is sorry about all the wasted years. And he cryptically added, only we know what is fact and fiction about our life experiences together. He's talking about the band members. It's kind of a freedom that you get with 70. You get that freedom. So there's lyrics like "screw you," "I love you," like it's literally like "screw you" in the song, which is kind of funny. And so he's basically saying, "Look, you're gonna have to guess how much of this is autobiographical about me or me and Agneta." So he's kind of leaves it in there, and the fact that Agneta sings it, it adds a layer of intrigue to it, I would say, similar to like Fleetwood Mac, you know, because we just did an album review for that, you know, with the whole Stevie Nicks, Lindsey Buckingham stuff and all that, you know. It's almost like how much are they talking about each other versus not, you know. There's a lot of that, but yeah, I would say one of the strongest ballads on it, you know, about someone. I mean, let's talk about it for a second, man. Addiction is you really can waste a lot of years with that stuff, right? And it's easy to say, just don't waste the years, don't be addicted, but obviously that's not how it works. So this is someone that seems like is coming down from that and is realizing, oh my God, like I've wasted my life. This person who I love or I once loved probably resents me, and they're really mad and like, you know, trying to put it back together. You know what I mean? It's some real stuff that Bjorn's writing here. And again, who knows how much of it is autobiographical or not. But anyway, good song though. Good song. The next one is Keep an Eye on Dan.
This shouldn't be a traumatic event, but it is. And I feel so bad. My little boy looks so happy, he throws me his "go mommy" kiss. And he laughs. He's dead. And I loved him too. Maybe I still do, but it's over. Keep an eye on Dan. Promise me you can. He gets out of hand if you let him. So keep an eye on Dan.
from Keep an Eye on Dan. I think it's me. This is one of the stronger songs on the album for me. Super catchy, man. Immediately as soon as it starts, it's like the melody is super catchy. It sticks in your head. It could be talking about anything. You're probably gonna like the song. I mean, how good the melody is of this song. Another kind of heart-wrenching performance by Agneta. She seems to be the queen of the heart-wrenching things. And yeah, so she's really landing on thick of some of these songs, like the last one and this one. And this one is something I've never experienced, and, you know, knock on wood, or I don't plan to, but I can imagine. Actually, I can't even imagine it, but the experience of dropping your kid off to your ex and leaving them with them, you know, that's got to be really difficult. And I'm sure people get used to it after a while, you know, but like the first couple times have got to be really difficult. If not all the time, I don't know, because I've never done it. But the point is, so lyrically, it is a little bit of a, you know, Bjorn special. It's a sad song for sure. And happy. I wouldn't say the music is happy, but it is catchy and upbeat. But there is a kind of a darkness to the music too. I love this it's kind of like this really nice synth pop track with this really cool orchestral stuff coming in over it. It really adds some nice layers. What did you think of this song, Mar?
Yeah, I thought this song was pretty great too. At first, when I heard it, I was like, "Who the hell's Dan?" And then I read the lyrics, and I was like, "Oh, that's who Dan is." Yeah, this song might have the strongest synth of any song on the album.
Yeah,
when that synth kicks in and like the chorus, woo!
Yeah,
man, that's some good stuff right there.
Yeah,
I think this is like a good Bjorn special. Like it's like pretty upbeat. It's upbeat, but it's like kind of somber too. But it's like, you know, it's got a good groove and melody. But the lyrics are, you know, like divorce is never good, and you know, sharing custody is always like just a pain, and just you know, never good for the children. But yeah, she's like, I don't know. Again, like, did they have any kids?
They had 2 kids, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. Again, if this is like, you know, reflections of their relationship and whatnot, or their parenting or whatever, but you know, if that's the case, this is kind of similar to like the last song where it's like reflections of their past, but you know, he never says if it is or not, but yeah, I mean, you know, saying keep an eye on Dan, like, you know, I'm gonna come get him, like, don't be an asshole, basically.
right. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, music wise, awesome, super great. Her vocals are awesome. Every song she sings on this album, like lead vocals are great, awesome. Yeah, musically awesome. Love the synth and everything. This is another strong contender of one of the best on the album, I think.
It's up there, and then I should play the ending, because the ending is definitely a callback to SOS, which I'll play real quick.
Make an effort not to upset him. Just keep an eye on Dan. And don't forget, I'll be back on Sunday to get him. So keep an eye on Dan.
Funny enough, first time I played this for my daughter, immediately she goes, Dad, can you play SOS? So immediately she knew that, and so she loves SOS, one of her favorite songs. So
sounds like your daughter has some good taste there.
Yeah, yeah. She's like, okay, that was cool, Dad, but play SOS, please.
SOS is like an absolute S tier song. My goodness.
But I wonder, I'm putting together the callback for the lyrics. Like, that song SOS is talking about like a breakup, you know?
Yeah.
And this song is talking about what happens after the breakup. So it's I wonder if it's a continuation of whatever Bjorn was thinking of at that time. But yeah, and maybe it's his own life experiences with this. If you have 2 children, you're divorced, you share them, I'm sure you have to go through this all the time. So it has to be autobiographical with him, and yet, I mean, I'm not saying exactly the word Dan, but the concept of it. You know what I mean? So, so yeah, there's a lot of sad lyrics, which is not a surprise. I mean, if there wasn't sad lyrics, I'd probably be upset. So I'm always looking for the sad lyrics on the ABBA song. So, all right, but yeah, good one. I forgot to mention on the last song, it's the only song I think that has a real bass guitar, the country ballad, not a synth bass. And there was a bass player named Mats Englund. I think that's how you say that. I'm probably butchering his name, but Mats Englund. So shout out to you, Mats Englund. All right. The next one is... Okay, where are we at? Bumblebee. All right. Bumblebee.
He likes the lilacs in my garden. I love to watch him fly. He's just a tiny fuzzy ball, and I wonder how he can fly at all. A world without him, I dread to think what that would be, and I'd imagine my distress. It would be a new kind of loneliness. But for now I'm in my garden, watching clouds sail with the breeze, feeling carefree as I listen to the hum of Bumblebee.
All right.
Quite absurd, this song.
I'm losing track, Mark. Is it me? I can't remember. Is it you? I don't remember. It's getting late. I'm starting to lose it. Who did the last one? Look, we don't even know what we're doing.
I think it's me. It's me.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. What do I say about this one? I mean, it sounds like another kind of Irish jig a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like a nice, like, tender song. This one I didn't read the lyrics too much. Hold on, let me see real quick. I have some notes here.
Okay.
Let's see, what did I write about the lyrics?
It's about bees, that I could tell you.
Yeah, it's about the extinction of bumblebees, apparently.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah, so that's an interesting lyrical theme for ABBA. Like, you know, animals, I guess. I mean, like, so let's call back to one of my favorite ABBA songs, and one that's also about an animal, Eagle.
There you go.
Not quite as good as Eagle, but you know, I think it's a pretty cool song. Nice and soft, and obviously it's Frida, so yeah, you know what I'm saying.
All right.
Yeah, it's you know, it's fine. It's not one that really jumped out at me. Not like the last two tracks. But like it kind of, I don't know. It's like the flute is interesting choice. I don't know. It's kind of like trying to be like folky, but it's not really at the same time. It's fine though. I respect that they're singing about bumblebees and you know how they might disappear, which is a very real thing. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's all right. I don't really have too much to say about this song. You know, I think it's fine for what it is. It's a nice little tender pop rock song. I don't even really know what it is, to be honest.
Yeah, it's hard to classify this one.
It is, yeah. But yeah, I think it's fine. It's not one I really think about too much, but you know, they all can't be winners. You know what I'm saying? So, what did you think, Troy?
Yeah, I mean, I probably have the least to say about this song on the record out of all the songs. Not because it's, I mean, all the songs are good in their own way. I mean, Frida's vocal performance is really good. You know, the arrangement is good. The melody's very nice to this song. The lyrics are fine. You know, the lyrics are cool. It is, I mean, it's an important topic for sure. It's just a little bit like this album is very interesting lyrically because it's got some of the classic Abba lyrics to it, you know? The stuff about breakups and all that stuff, right? And then it has some of the positive stuff too, you know? Like Don't Shut Me Down. That's kind of a classic style too, where it's not like necessarily a sad song, but it's got some complexity to it, right? But then there's songs about Christmas, and then there's like Bumblebee songs. It's kind of like interesting. And the last song is very interesting. Actually, that's the one I want to talk about the most. So I'll keep this one short and sweet. A fine song, not one that I came back to a lot on re-listens, but you know, a fine song. Yeah, probably like, I would say, I'm trying to think of, this might be my least favorite song on the record, actually.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't, yeah, but it's not bad. It's just,
Yeah.
it's not up to par with the rest of the album, I don't think.
Yeah. Don't kill us, Abba fans, okay? That's probably just pretty honest.
Yeah, there's going to be somebody who's like, that's my favorite song on the album.
And by the way, like if you've been watching this channel a while, you know that we're kind of coming from usually other genres of music. So we have a different perspective than people who might have listened to Abba like since the beginning. So if this is your favorite song, that's okay. You know what I mean? We're just giving our thoughts. So the next one is No Doubt About It.
Exaggerate, and maybe he's right, but that is beside the point. Well then why do I let it upset me? Yes, and why am I biting my nails? I made a mess this time, and there's no doubt about it.
So that was a clip from No Doubt About It. Here's my thoughts on this one, Mark. You put this song on like one of the older Abba albums, and you know, Frida is singing this song well, but obviously her voice doesn't sound like it did in 1979, you know what I mean, or whatever.
Sounds pretty good here, though.
It does. But if you put this song back in time on one of those albums, this song is like... This song is good on this album. Don't get me wrong. It's actually one of my favorites on the album, personally. I really like this song. Let me just state that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this song is another song that could live on an old album to me with the old production. If you were to, you know, make it produce the same way with the same vocals, this song would be a banger. This song is awesome, man. This song is super well written, super well performed, of course. Yeah, I mean, when she kicks into the chorus, right? And then the chorus changes to the second part of the chorus where it's like this kind of really happy sound to it. And I'm going to play a quick clip from that. So like this part.
Well, then why do I let it upset me? Yes, and why am I biting my nails?
way the harmonies come in with the vocals is huge like that, and on top of that, like really major sounding second part of the chorus, that's like super classic ABBA technique. Yeah, so for me, this is one of my favorites on the album. Yeah, and lyrically, it's like I don't think it's that complex. I think it's about someone who's basically picked a fight and is kind of feeling bad about it, or I don't know. I don't know. I didn't read it too much into this one, but I think the song is really good, though. What did you think, Mark?
Yeah, I think this is definitely one of the best on the album.
Okay.
It has that like repeated like, is that a sitar like stab?
Something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds almost like a sitar, like even like an Eastern Asian instrument, which actually sounds great in the mix. I love the chorus of the song. I love the instrumentation. I love Frida's vocals. I'm a Frida stan, obviously. Yeah, I think this song is definitely one of the best for sure. Probably I would say this and like maybe Don't Shut Me Down are like the two real strong tracks for me.
Okay. Yeah.
But this is one I listened to, 5 times probably.
Okay.
It's short and sweet too. I think it's like the second shortest track on the album. Yeah, I think it's great. It kind of like it feels like a throwback to some of their older like quirkier songs. Like what's the one on what is it on Arrival? I think or
I Kissed the Teacher.
No, I was thinking more of That's Me. Remember that song?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When I Kissed the Teacher too. Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of that when it comes in, like the second part of the chorus with the huge vocals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like quirky and like, it's upbeat, but like the lyrics are just like, kind of whatever, like silly a little bit, like, expressing guilt for something. But yeah, I think this one is definitely more about the music than the lyrics for sure, because like the harmonies are great, super tight, great flow. Like I said, Frida's voice is good on this track. I mean, that's let me repeat this again. They're in their 70s, guys.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
That's crazy. Like my mother is in her 70s, and if I thought of her like going to a studio and singing, just no way. She couldn't do it in her 40s or in her 30s. So like you have to give them some credit here. I think
Your mom's getting blown up.
She's like, I went to the studio to do my vocals, and Abba was in the next stall. Like these, it's just like what they're still doing. It's just I just give them so much credit, and it's awesome.
Definitely. Yeah.
But this song, one of the best on the album, I think.
I totally agree. Great song. The last song is Ode to Freedom. was a clip from a couple minutes of An Ode to Freedom. Mark, what did you think about this one?
Man, what a way to send them off with their potentially final song, man. I read that they employed a full the full Stockholm orchestra for this track. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, that's definitely going out with a bang. I think. The song is like very majestic. Both sing on here, so it's like, instant great melodies. Bjorn was definitely going for like the classical sound here for sure. I think I read that I don't know if it was the lyrics or the music took like inspiration from Swan Lake.
The music, yeah.
The music, okay.
Yeah. But
so
actually,
you
the
can
lyrics
definitely
might be related to it. To be fair to you.
Yeah, so you can
Yeah.
definitely definitely hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just a great send off, awesome last track, and this is like an ABBA track that sounds like really grand, but it also is kind of somber too. I think it's like a bittersweet kind of thing, I don't know if they recorded these songs in order. They probably didn't, but they knew this was going to be the last track, so I guess maybe recording it was like very, bittersweet for them, because at their age they probably thought, I don't even know if they had plans to do. Maybe this might have been a spur of the moment thing, because it was. This album came out at the height of COVID. It was like 2021, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think so. Yeah.
So I don't even know if that might have been a spur of the moment decision to do that. I don't know if they had any plans before to make an album, but I don't even remember what I was talking about. What was I?
That's okay. No problem.
Yeah, I think it's just like they, wanted to do something really big and grand for their send off, and they kind of did this, and I think it sounds awesome. And it's kind of sad seeing them go for like the albums, because this is our last album that we're covering. So, yeah, I think it's a great end to the album. And yeah, what do you think, Troy?
I see this song. Well, first of all, let's talk about the music. Beautiful music. The strings, and it's crazy. That's just kind of example I was talking about with Benny. Was like really, showing his chops when it comes to the classical side of things and the theatrical side. And beautiful song, melody wise, and lyrically, it's super interesting. It's a song about not writing a song. It's a song that like only Bjorn can write, actually. Because when I was reading the lyrics, I was like, wait a minute, what is he talking about? And I was like, oh, it's like it's basically like, look, I want to write this ode to freedom, but I'm not the one to do it. Basically, that's what he's saying. And it's almost like a passing of the torch. That's the way I read this. So, and I think there's a few reasons for that, potentially. So, I mean, this is going to sound really stupid, but maybe not. Philosophically, what does freedom even mean? Because there's different levels of freedom, right, that people experience. And I think he's even admitting here that, like, look, because there's the previous song to this, 2 songs ago, was about bumblebees, right? Which is obviously a song about not only nature, but a political song as well. You know what I mean? So I do think that maybe there's some political elements to this, but he's literally saying in the song, I'm so privileged that I don't even think I should be talking about it. It's really what he says in the second verse. Is pretty much what he alludes to. So he kind of, and this is one of the things I love about ABBA as people, is they seem to be very self-aware of who they are, and they don't come off wrong at all. Like, they always come off in the right way whenever I've seen them talk, and even in this song, for example. Because if you had Bjorn writing a song about freedom and all that, it's like, well, what do you know, dude? Like, you've been rich most of your life, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to worry about anything, you know what I mean? So I think he's basically saying, look, I want to write a song about this because I think it's important. I think, the concept of freedom, and I want everyone to experience this, whether that's through freedom of music, right? Freedom of artistic expression. That's where the Swan Lake reference comes in, right? What I'm talking about. So if you ever seen or read anything about Swan Lake. So yeah, I think the element of freedom, artistic expression, also freedom in literally just having freedom to do things in different countries, right? You have dictatorships, you have different countries that have different laws. Maybe there's an element of some people felt, there was too much restriction during COVID. I don't know how much of that comes into this, you know what I mean? But I think he's basically saying like, this needs to be written, but it's not going to be me who does it. So it's kind of like this, almost like passing the torch to the next generation of songwriters in a way. That's kind of the way I read it. A very Bjorn thing to do. Very clever. For sure. Very sure. He's like, here's this beautiful music. I mean, absolutely unbelievably beautiful music, beautiful melody. And the lyrics are basically like, yeah, I'm not really going to write this song. Somebody else write it. That's kind of what he's saying. It's very interesting. It's just a really quirky thing to do, but I think it's really cool in a way. So that's what I got out of it when I read the lyrics. But yeah, overall, Mark, what do you think about the album?
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, here we go again, broken record. But I think, like, given the circumstances, I think this is probably the best album they could have possibly made at their age. I mean, I don't really know how they could have done it better, because I'm thinking about what I'm going to be doing in my mid 70s, and it's certainly not going to be making a phenomenal album. So,
right.
I think this album is, for an album that was released 40 years later than their previous album, I think it's pretty dang good, honestly. I wasn't absolutely floored by every track, but I thought the strong tracks were pretty strong.
I totally agree. Yeah.
I think that you could put them up against some of the best in their catalog. Like, I stand by that, honestly. But yeah, I mean, the Abba fans said the album was good, so I take their word seriously because they know their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this is honestly better than I thought it was going to be, and I'm pretty pleasantly surprised. And this just kind of goes to prove that they really don't have a bad album in their catalog. So,
no, I have a teaser for the album review episode. You know what, Mark? I think we should do album ranking. Let's do the album ranking episode next, and then let's do the B-sides one. Not the B-sides, but the non-album one. Only because, by the way, you probably haven't seen our album ranking episodes, but they're really fun. Like, we do these tier lists, and it's just a way to really discuss the albums and, like, debate which ones are better and why. It's kind of a fun way to celebrate the albums, to be honest with you. So we'll probably do that. But I think I have to think about this. But if I had to rank this album, it's not my least favorite, actually. So to say after 40 years, you've made an album which I think might be better than, I can't say how many, but I will say, all right, I'll spoil it. I think it's better than one album. but that's my spoiler. But yeah, I do think it is a good album. And so, as you said, some of the songs on this album could be on other ABBA albums, which are some of the best ABBA albums ever made. Like, they could fit on there. So for me, that's saying something. That's saying a lot, actually, about all four of the members. You know what I mean? How they showed up to this, and they did it without an outside producer, without an outside engineer. I would love, just the curiosity, I would love to hear what another project would sound like with an outside engineer, like a modern engineer. It doesn't even have to be a modern producer. Just imagine it like a new Michael B. Tretto, that they had for the previous ones.
Right, yeah.
It would probably just, like, this album would probably even be up to the next level. But for what they did with self-producing, self-recording things and all that, I think this is quite a feat of music that I can't think of anybody after 40 years has ever done something like this. I mean, can you think of it? I mean, people are making albums in their 70s, but are they any good? I mean, who's making albums in their 70s that are any good, that are as good as this? I can't think of one.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think there is.
Yeah. So
I said, go listen to Bob Dylan right now. Like, you're gonna be like, that's not even Bob Dylan. Like,
yeah.
Sounds terrible. But because he's in his 80s, like,
right.
You're not supposed to sound good.
Right.
You're supposed to sound old, but.
Yeah,
now, granted, like, they sound older on here, but they don't sound bad.
No, they don't. They don't sound bad. And I heard people were people complain about everything, man. People complain about, oh yeah, they were using some auto tune. It's like, you know what? It's 2026, man. People are, I bet 2020 or whatever it was at the time. People are going to use it, and it's not like, and they're in their 70s. Let them use a little bit of autotune if they want. Who cares? It's like, really, just appreciate the fact that you have an album after 40 years. You know what I mean? Like, come on, give me a break. So, point is, now, using autotune live, that's a different thing. But if you're in your 70s, go for it. I mean, use as much as you want live. But if you're in your 30s and 40s, it's a little bit unacceptable. I just want to throw that out there. But anyway, no, that's aside. Totally, that's another episode of topic. But anyway, overall, Mark, I really enjoyed this album. I know I probably didn't sound enthusiastic about every song like I might have on some of the previous episodes. But that's going to happen because not every song is equally as good. Okay, so it's just...
Yeah, exactly.
On anybody's catalog, not even my absolute favorite bands of all time that I've listened to my whole life, every song is equally good on every album. It just doesn't happen. So, but overall, good album, and I'm excited to talk about it next time in our album ranking episode, which should be pretty fun. All right. Well, if you're still watching this, maybe there'll be a T-shirt below for you to check out. So that might be there. But please give us a like. It would help the episode for sure. And let us know what you think in the comments. What are your favorites on this? Favorites, least favorites? Anything you want to share? Let's not be negative. Let's put the favorites, right? Also, come in the Discord. We have a huge ABBA community in the Discord. It's a free music club, a free music community. The link for that will be in the pinned comment if you want to hang out with some other ABBA fans, plus just any other viewers of the channel. A lot of us are in there, Mark and I are in there, talk about music all the time, and there's a dedicated ABBA channel. So if that strikes your interest.
That's the hot channel, too.
It is probably the hottest channel in the whole Discord, by the way.
Definitely.
So yeah, the ABBA fans are strong, and makes me nervous just saying anything. If I say this is not my favorite song of all time, I get a little bit nervous. So to be honest with you. But anyway, but the ABBA fans have been great and really cool and understanding as well that everyone has different opinions. So, all right. Well, only about 5% of our viewers are subscribed, so it would really help out the channel. And these 90-minute episodes, they don't get a ton of views. Now, the ABBA ones typically get some views, but it would really help if you shared these kind of episodes. Not just this one, any of them will really help out the channel. So appreciate that. And yeah, anyway, well, Mark, until next time, until the next ABBA episode. All right.
See ya, Abbins.
See ya later.